Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to talk about summer planting ornamental shrubs and trees and perennials and ornamental grasses, and just kind of what I think through when I'm planting when the heat of the summer. You know, I'm near the end of July now, and most of the days at this point in my area are in the mid 90s, you know, low to mid 90s most days, and it can be even hotter at times. I'm in zone 7B. If you don't know your horticultural zone, I'll put the map up here so you can see kind of what it looks like. The country is divided into horticultural zones based on cold and cold only, unfortunately, and not heat. But you can find yourself on that map pretty easily by you can just Google your zip code with USDA horticultural zone or something like that, and you'll find out what zone you live in, because I'm going to talk about that quite a bit during this video. I'm planting this Deer Dolores Hydrangea right here that I've had for a while. This is our remontant variety, meaning it repeat blooms, and so it's near the end of July here, and it's come back into basically full bloom. Blooms are a little smaller than they would be because it's been in this container and it's a little bit root bound. It definitely would rather be in the ground at this point, and it's it's really shown up in the size of the flowers on top of the plant. But so a few things on summer planting for different regions. If you're in zone 8 or 9 and you're in the southeast United States at this point, you may want to wait until September, you know, buy the plant and put it someplace where you can water it. I get a lot of questions for people from Houston or Orlando or someplace like that. You know, you're 6 weeks away from it being substantially cooler and substantially less water and stress on the plant. So maybe at this point in the summer, you're not going to do as much planting. I'm in zone 7, and I kind of feel pretty lucky to be in zone 7. The ground doesn't freeze in the winter, and it's hot as blazes in the summer, but our summers are much more compact and shorter than people like on the Gulf Coast. And so we can plant right through the summer and the winter. So I feel pretty fortunate there. Folks in zone 5 or 6, spring and summer are the best time to plant, and I would definitely be trying to get things in the ground. The further away from, you know, you getting your winter temperatures in zone 5 that you can plant, the better. So I would definitely be putting things in the ground in the northern parts of the country. This space back here, I pulled my mulch back. This is a mulched space, and I actually put some compost on the ground and then mulched it. And so when I pull the mulch back, I've got a nice layer of compost under here, and so it's pretty easy digging these days. It is clay soil, but this area of the yard is pretty easy to dig in. Other considerations for summer planting. I don't like to plant herbaceous perennials, meaning perennials that die to the ground too late, like into October or November. When I was landscaping, definitely the things that I lost the most and had to guarantee the most were planting herbaceous perennials, something like this agapanthus that's in front of me that goes dormant in the winter, planting those in the fall, or ornamental grasses, you know, decorative grasses. Those things are best planted in the spring or summer. So right now, getting those things in is a great idea. Get them in as far from the first freeze as you possibly can. I find if I put them in the fall and they immediately get hit with a frost and die back, that they end up rotting, potentially, not all, but potentially rotting during the winter time. So definitely, even in zone 8 or 9, if you wanted to do ornamental grasses or herbaceous perennials, and, you know, coneflowers and black-eyed Susans and salvias and any of those tough summer perennials, they can go in the ground now. I do cut things back a little bit when I plant them typically. So if I was planting something like this agapanthus right this minute in a 95-degree day, I would consider taking the flowers off. Same thing with this hydrangea right here, which would make people cry, really. If you're uncomfortable with potentially having to cut the plant back a little bit, you can enjoy the flowers in the container. When the flowers fade, then plant it. Because when I pull this plant out of this container and I rough up these roots, and they definitely need it. This thing has been in this container for a long time. I've had it for a long time. It bloomed once already in the early summer, and now it's blooming a second time. When I break these roots up, these roots are not necessarily going to be able to supply enough water to the top of this plant now. That has a potential to create an out of balance situation where there's no amount of water that I can put into that soil that, you know, that will that those roots are going to be able to pull water up to the top just because I damaged them. And the plant's just out of balance. You can reestablish that balance by cutting that plant back 3 or 4 inches. Like if I was planting this hibiscus that you can see here beside me right now, you know, I just take 6 inches off the end of every one of these branches and it would use substantially less water and it would put it back in balance. This hydrangea is a tougher call because I'm putting a little soil back in this hole because I want to mound it up a little bit. But this hydrangea is a tougher call for cutting because obviously these flowers are quite beautiful on here. And this is really pretty right here. This is one from the spring. You can see how much bigger they were on this plant in the spring when it wanted to when it first wanted to be planted, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But that's basically my summer planting rules. If you put it in the ground and it wilts every single afternoon, I think you probably need to prune it a little bit. I'd like to get, no matter where you live, I'd like to get perennials and ornamental grasses that you want to put into the ground before fall. If you're in zone 8 or 9 and we're talking about shrubs or trees or hardy things, I probably would wait till September at this point and just not compete with the 100-degree days that you might get. And in zone, 5 or 6, I'm just gonna keep right on. I'm gonna keep right on planting, right until the mid to late August. I'm not doing any fertilizing. I've got this tamped in. I've left it up about 1.5 inches above the grade, and so I can actually see the top of this root ball about 1.5 inches. And then I'm putting my mulch back up right up to the edge of that root ball. Just like this. Definitely not fertilizing. Okay, this is too late in the season to be fertilizing. The days are already getting shorter, and these plants, all of these plants, this osmanthus right here, this agapanthus, everything knows the days are getting shorter. They're going to start cycling down and slowing down. If you put fertilizer on them right now, you could potentially, change that cycle, start putting new growth on them as we go into the fall, and then they get damaged by the first frost. So I'm done with fertilizer at this point. But anyway, that's the things I think through when I'm planting during the summertime. I'm in zone 7, and I feel very fortunate that I just will continue to plant regardless. But if this thing is wilting in the afternoon during the week and the soil is moist, so I'm going to check the soil first. And if the soil's moist, but it's wilting and wilting badly every afternoon to the point where it might be damaging the plant, I will go ahead and prune these flowers off of it. One other consideration would be if you go to a garden center, you're going to see the plants might be grown under shade. Even the things that like the sun might be under shade during the summertime, because that's going to allow them to keep the plants looking better than if they were in the black pots out on a parking lot. And they're going to have to water them less. When you take that thing from under shade cloth and bring it home and stick it out in the full sun immediately, you have the potential to get a lot of sunburn on the top of it. You just burn the tops of the leaves. If you see that happen, it's really not that big of a deal. But if it's something that is coming out of the shade that you're putting into the sun during the summertime, you may want to transition it for a couple days. Put it in slightly more sun for 2 or 3 days. It's the same as you coming out in the spring after being inside all winter long and getting burned on the beach the first time you go really badly. This is same, plants go through that same exact process. Here's a quick close-up of this Dear Dolores hydrangea. This is one of the old flowers from the summer. You can see how much bigger those were. And like I said, the reason these are so small is because this thing's so root bound. You see down here, I have left this root ball up a bit. I hope you'll be able to see that, but it's up a couple inches. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of extra mulch, but I'll cover up the edge of that, but I'm not burying the plant in mulch, but I do leave them elevated a little bit. So again, I just keep right on planting through the summer here in zone 7. Thank you very much for watching this video.